After my mom passed on, my sister, she wasn't married. So ni ali move in kukaa na yeye. So alianza kukonjeka. And after exactly now 6 months. So that is a span of 6. I lost my dad. If I tell you, my heart was broken. And saa zingine huwa siamini ni mimi naongeanga hii maneno hata silii. Because hapo mbeleni sidhani ningeongea. Tulizika babangu. Then tukakaa after 2 years. I lost a sister. And my sister pia yeye hakuonjeka sana. Aligonjeka tu kidogo, akakufa. And then something else I remember after I lost my sister, you know, people talk. People were talking. My dad is MURÚNYÚ. Kwa MURÚNYÚ kumefanyika nini? Watu kwani walirogwa?
Hello guys, it's Mungai Eve. Welcome to the Mungai Eve show. And of course, we're the #1 online TV show. Na leo, I have an amazing guest with me. By the way guys, tumekuwa tukipata twins sana kwa hii show yetu. To a point at Dima fans wangu wameniombea nipate twins pia mimi. Yeah, so leo, I have a mom, mwenye ni mom wa twins tumekuwa na wao, wanaitwa Gadesha twins. So tutakuwa tukishare story yake, akona story amazing sana. But at the beginning, nataka tueleze ku-raise twins ilikuwaje. Then we get to her story because kila mtu anakuanga na story yake ya maisha. And I believe at the end of this video, you're going to be inspired. Anyway, mom, ukaje?
Niko poa kabisa.
Tunakuita nani?
My name is Janet MURÚNYÚ, the mother of twin, Gadesha twin, and a boy. Yes.
Wow. So akona kaboy. Na pia kwa kaboy wanafanana. It's another twin.
Yeah. Actually, wangekuwa almost the same age. And nafikiri watu wangekuwa wanasema ni triplets. Yes.
Wow. Would love to know. Unajua, watu wengi tukishaona twins wakiwa wamegrow, tunakuanga zile za, I'd love to get a twin. They look so nice. But hatujuangi safari inakuanga aje. Let's go back to when you realized you're pregnant and you're going to get twins. Of course, maybe kuna kuanga na ile, itakuwa aje.
Okay. I realized that I'm expecting twins when I was, I think, 4 months pregnant. Though ungeniona nilikuwa mkubwa haraka sana. As in, you'd think maybe 6 months pregnant.
Almost.
Yes, or I am almost to give birth. And that's why the doctor maybe told me to go for a scan. And that's when I realized that I'm carrying twins. For me, to be sincere, it was not easy. And being they were my firstborn, there's no way I expected that I can have twin. And even, you know, that how will I give birth to them? How will I raise them?
You started getting scared.
Yes, especially when you are first mother. It was not a sweet thing, but with time, when I told my husband that we are expecting twins, we went through that journey together. Actually, I think I was very anxious, but he was calm. And for sure, both of us, we went through that journey together. And finally, they came. We knew we were expecting girls. I had gone for the scan. Okay, the doctor did not specify it's girls, but aliniuliza, kuna swali aliniuliza, nani wanakuanga composed? Because they looked so composed when wakati alichukua scan. And so I got to know I am.
So girls are composed?
Yes. So nikawaza, but I went through cesarean. Na mimi niliwabeba full term. Hivyo watu wanaambiangu ati unabeba 8 months. Me, I carried my twins 9 months. Because I was supposed to give birth on 2nd November. And I gave birth on 29th October. So unaona hata si wiki moja. So I carried to the full term. I was very big. Miguu ilikuwa inafura nini. Anyway, it was not a sweet journey. But
kulikuwa na challenges.
Yes, then nikapata watoto. For us, walikuwa very identical. So for us to know them, walikaa na tag almost 1 month. Ndio tuwajue the first twin and the second twin. And it was easy. Even the father aliwajua haraka sana, simply because at that time he was very supportive actually. Na tuliwalea vizuri sana mpaka wakakuwa wameanza sasa kutembea. But hapo mbeleni kupata maziwa ya kutoshelesha hao watoto, it was a problem.
Oh, so for a mom, you can't satisfy 2 kids.
It wasn't easy. So ilibidi tuwapee none. Saa hiyo hatukuwa ati watu wamejiweza, so bado ilikuwa very hard.
I usually hear that it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's very and especially those days, that was 202. And I even remember our mother-in-law, mother to my husband, yeye alikuwa anatulipia msichana, hatuku afford. Actually tulikuwa tunakaa double room. Ndio tulea hao watoto juu that time niliacha kazi yenye nilikuwa nafanya, ndio nikuje nilea watoto, so the breadwinner alikuwa mmoja. Na hakuwa anapata mapato mazuri. But finally tuliwalea. Wasichana ilikuwa kubadilisha nini. Pampers, they were very expensive. So
Right now, where?
so we had to subside with nappies. Sisi mimi nilitumia napi nimefua kabisa. So wali grow though haikuwa rahisi. Kulala ni shida. Saa zingine unabadilisha mtoto napi, the same unaenda kubadilisha, unapata ni unashindwa kwa nini huwa akojoa, kumbe ni the same. You mine were very identical when they were young.
Even right now they are.
Not really.
Because I think it's because you're used to them.
Yeah, I am so much used to them. I've come to know their characters. But wali grow, wakaenda shule, kuwapeleka shule. Yani tulikuwa tushaanza kuzoea. We have 2 kids. Lazima waendanishe kila kitu pamoja. So to us it was not a big issue. And you know Mungu anaenda tu akiwa elevate. So bringing them was, I would not say that tuliteseka sana. Hiyo nitakuwa na lie kwa Mungu. But they grew up until wakafika mpaka sasa primary, wakaendelea. Then secondary school. Hapo ndio tulipata tisho kidogo because moja aliitwa Maryhill, the other one to Kahuhia Girls. And it was not a nice journey that one year. Waligonjeka, moja aligonjeka miguu, huyo mwingine alipata ulcers. Actually, the one who was in Kahuhia, there was a time she came back from school and she had really lost weight.
Yeah, she told us.
Mpaka unaona mtoto, kana kaforana, kako hivi. So, at least with thank God we managed to get a slot in Maryhill the second year, and we joined them together. Na hiyo mambo ikaisha. So I would say these girls they are inseparable. Aki.
Even right now.
Yes, ukienda kwa nyumba wako pamoja. Mimi mpaka naonanga saa zingine mmoja amesimama kwa choo anangojea yule mwingine atoke kwa choo. They are ever together. Ever. I tell you, mimi naonanga twins lakini hawa
kila mahali.
Yes.
Ukituma mmoja wanataka kwenda wote.
Yes. Lakini sasa walimaliza secondary school, wamepita vizuri, they are going to university now. And actually one of them was called at Maseno, the other one at KCA.
Now what is going to happen?
But I tell you, if whatever we experienced, that is in 2017, siwezi taka. So we had to bring them back together. So to transfer to KCA, she got a slot. And already they have reported, so that's where they are going.
Wow, that's so amazing. Okay, I know most of people who are watching this video, they are asking themselves, ili upate twins, do you have any history of twins in your family? Ama side ya baba yao ndo kulikuwa na twins, ama it was just magic?
Okay, I would say okay, in every family, hata wenye walipata twins kuanzia kitambo, unajua si ati kulikuwa na familia ingine ya twins. But kwa baba yao, kuna watu wengi sana wako na twins. And even on our side, because I remember in our mom's family, actually mom tu ndiye hakupata twins.
I think ni kama mamangu juu. Babangu na auntie yangu, they are twins. Wow. But unfortunately hatuna.
Hamna.
So auntie yangu hakupata.
So naonanga maybe inaweza kuwa ilitoka hapo, but you can also start your own na muanze kupata twins aitoke hiyo familia. Sasa familia hiyo ilitoka twins, walianza kutoka hapo. But I think also familia ilichangia sana.
Wow. Now let's come to when they are growing. Sasa ushaanza kuona, unajua shida inakuanga watoto wakiwa utoto tudogo. Wakianza kukua kubwa, watu wanakuambia, "Oh, watoto wako, you know, when you're trying to unawadress na the same outfits." How was the feeling yenye ushaanza sasa kuona kama tumaua?
Wacha nikwambie hivi umesema kama tumaua, those girls looks like flowers.
Yeah.
They were very pretty. And sometimes I would look at them and say, ayano wangu. Walikuwa nakaa tudori. So hata ukienda mahali niseme walianza ku seek attention kutoka wakiwa wadogo. Unaona ukipita mahali, at that time we didn't have a car. So munaenda, actually there was a time I remember at Roysambu. Nimebeba mmoja kwa mgongo, huyo mwingine na bele. We were from Nyeri and the father ndiye amebeba mizigo. That time Mungu wako ametubariki na gari. So attention ya watu hiyo ndio ilikuwa inanisumbua sana. Sana. Everybody anataka kukuuliza, uko na twins? And I'm like, kwani hamuoni ni twins?
I know.
Evident ni twins. Unajua inafika mahali unakasirika.
Hadi unachoka.
Yes, ni twins. Unajua kuna time unaambia mtu ni twins. So, si ni twins na si unaona ni twins.
Human beings you are that way.
But yeah, humans are that. Lakini hawa walikuwa, you know one thing, they are very brown.
Yeah.
And they are pretty.
Very pretty.
So ilikuwa kuwanunulia nguo zinafanana. To me ilikuwa nishazoea. Hakuna kitu nilikuwa naona ikiwa ngumu. Actually nikiona kitu yenye inafanana kwanza mtushi. Nilikuwa hiyo lazima nichukue. Kuna watu wenye walikuwa wanauza nguo walikuwa wanajua mama twins. Watu wengi by the way uniita mama twins. Lazima wangeniletea hizo nguo. Juu wanajua as long as it's a good thing wataleta tu na nitachukua.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's come to your story. I saw a song ulikuwa umeimba and you know, mtu ukikuwa a creative mind ukiangalia ile ngoma unaona it's like you're trying to say something, maybe you went through a hard time somewhere. Would love to know motivation ya that specific song uliimba ilikuwa gani?
Wacha niseme kuimba, nilianza kuimba when I was a very small girl. And I've been so confident. Mimi, by the way, nimekuwa confident sana kutoka nikiwa mtoto mdogo. Mimi kusimama kuongea kwa watu, that's nothing to me. So, nimekuwa na passion ya kuimba, but little did I know. Ninafaa kutoa wimbo. Sometimes nilikuwa nasema, mbona nilikuwa nimelalia hii talent.
Uko naimba za wenyewe.
Yes. But nasemanga, at his own time, he will make things perfect. So, mimi nasemanga, this is my time. And actually, when that song came, mimi si kutoa wimbo ati nipate pesa ama actually my girls ni walikuwa wananiambia hiyo wimbo utaweka YouTube nini hivyo. But tuseme kweli hivyo umesema hiyo ngoma it has come from somewhere. I grew up in Gatondo and I grew up in a family that was middle class. Sikukula shida. Siwezi sema nilikula shida. It was a middle class family. With my mom, my dad, we were 9 in our family. There was a lot of love.
You have twins? Mlikuwa na twins? Maybe twin sister?
Hapana. Nimekwambia in our family mamangu ndiye hakuwa na twins. Au wengine kuna hata kama si aunti yangu kuna representative mwenye either mtoto huko amepata twin. So it was a nice family. We were brought up so well in a very Christian background. My mom was an elder, PCA. And my dad,
PCA member.
Wow. So even my dad alikuwa mtu wa church too. But I would say my journey started of losing. I've lost, in that family of 9, I've lost 7 people.
So you're remaining with just 2?
Yes. Me and my sister. And me, I am the last born. So that was, sometimes even I forget the years. But I will just try to remember. 2003. That is when I lost my first brother. He was called William. Na brathangu alikufa kifo. Siwezi tamani mtu yote akufe kwa hiyo kifo. Because one thing, he was a drunkard. Na sionangi haya nikisema hivyo. Because I wish watu young waachane na pombe. Pombe ni mbaya. And he died because of alcohol. Alikuwa mtu addict and he was a very learned fellow. He was a biology teacher and mathematics. Huyo ni mtu mwelevu. But he was very responsible, hata hakuwa na familia. He died, alianguka kwa mtalo, and it was raining. Akafungilia, inaitwa aje? Maji. Hii keguo. I think alimuingia kwa mapua, and that was the end. Na tukamzika hiyo 203. So from there, I remember my mom was so broken. And that time nilikuwa tu nimezaa the girls, wasichana.
Ndio ulikuwa tatu.
Yes, walikuwa na kitu 5 months. I remember because nilimewazaa end of October, yeah, na ilikuwa kitu March. I remember that time kulikuanga na vita ya Iraq. That time my brother passed on. Then from there tumemzika, hakuwa na familia. Then from there my mom passed on later. That was 208. 208, when my mom alikuanga na ugonjwa for a long time. She was diabetic. She had a heart problem. And I think either the heart problem or the diabetic, one of them ndio ilichukua mamangu. I remember I was very pregnant with my son. I was pregnant with 7 months.
And the twins were how old?
They were 6 years. Okay. Yeah. I was pregnant with my second child, that is my son, 7 months. And here comes your mom is gone. I remember I received a call from my brother in the morning, and he told me he wanted to talk to my husband. And I'm like when? My brother alinipigia simu such an early morning. I knew my mom was not feeling well. Well, I gave him the phone. Na nikasikia wakiongea sijui nini. Then akakuja nikamuuliza kwani nini bro alikuwa anakuambia. Kaniambia mamako hasikii poa na ako hospitali. Ako wapi hospitali? Gatondo. Basi nikamwambia basi I'll call her. Kaniambia no, don't call her, ako ICU. Hapo ndio nilianza kumwambia Gatondo hakuna ICU.
You knew there is.
Yes. So at some point I came to know my mom is not either there. But unaona ile hutaki kuamini mama yako.
You can't accept it.
But later I came to learn she's gone. It was the most difficult time for me at that time. I am carrying a child who is 7 months, and you've lost your mom. It was not an easy thing.
And you had also lost your brother.
Yes, it was not easy. So tuliendelea na tukamzika, na mimi siku manage kuenda pale kwa grave. Iliniweza. And by the time we were going to the grave, I passed out. And I started bleeding. So I was taken to the hospital. And nikaambiwa huyu mtoto amechoka. BP kaanza kurise. So they were to take me to the theater immediately, but my BP was not stable.
Yeah, you can't go to the theater when the BP is not stable.
And you remember the baby is 7 months. Yeah. So they are going there to save the mom, not even the baby. And I was ready for that. But the following day, I woke up, my BP was a bit stable. So they took me to the theater and they removed my baby, a baby boy. And I was praying God all along. Nilikuwa naimba ile wimbo ya Ohekahe. That song.
Give me a boy.
Yes, hiyo wimbo imeimbwa, sikumbuki jina yake. And here God has given me a boy, but he has taken my mom. And at some point if I was asking, why didn't you take my boy? Because I would have looked for another baby. Na uniachie mamangu.
Why did you take my mom?
Yes. But unajua mipango ya Mungu si yetu. Mungu, God, he's the one who gives life and he's the one who takes it away. So my baby was born, very alive, with a lot of difficulties. He wasn't able to breathe on himself, yani yeye mwenyewe. Alikaekwa kwa machine, akaekwa kwa oxygen. The following day ndio niletewa mtoto. No, sikuletewa, niliambiwa niende nikaone mtoto. But nilipelekwa. So, and I didn't know kwa nini ninapelekwa na nurses mingi hivyo. So nikaenda, but the look nilipata mtoto yangu, I fainted. Because niliona, ndio nasema, I wish wangeni prepare mtoto wako kwa machine. juu alikuwa amemweka a lot of mifaifo mingi sana.
Pipes.
So I was very sure he's not going to make it. But who is God? Mungu anasemanga hawezi fuatanisha grief na grief ingine. So how can I lose my mom and then I lose my son? Na huyo son nilikuwa nimemuomba sana. So my boy made it. Namuitanga Miracle Baby. If you see that boy, very handsome.
My director is trying to make fun of the situation, Miracle Baby, because in the afternoon we are meeting Miracle Baby. And the twins are making a lot of noise there. Tunawasikia tukiwa hapa.
Kweli.
Tunawasikia mnatudistract aki. Yeah.
So, namuitanga Miracle Baby because for sure to me is a miracle baby. Alikuwa anaambua liver haijakuwa developed, alikuwa na jaundice. Mtoto huwezi toa nini maziwa, haezi jinyonya. Yaani haezi nyonya yeye mwenyewe.
Was it because bado alikuwa mbakisha miezi 2 ndo ako?
Yes. So alikuwa napewa na yes. Tulikaa kwa hospitali.
Like how long?
About almost a month. But finally tulitoka. Jaundice ilikaa miezi kadhaa.
And at that time, twins walikuwa na nani?
Walikuwa na house girl na baba yao. So tulikaa hospitali then tukatoka. Jaundice tuliendelea kwenda hospitali. At that time, you remember I don't think I did have time to mourn my mom because my boy has come and alifunika hiyo kilio na huyu mtoto kumweka hai. So nasemanga sikupata time poa ya kumuona mamangu. But I thank God he brought that son anipe furaha kwa life yangu. So tukaendelea, mtoto akagrow. When you see, that's why I was telling you, when you see that boy, very sharp. But then yeye huwa anaedit. They have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Ni yeye huwa anachukua video. And he's only 13 years. Na ni yeye anaedit. Everything.
13 years.
Yes. He does that work. He's a very sharp boy, very handsome. Ukimwona huwezi fikiria alikuwa na miezi 7. So all glory to God. So from there, to make it short, after that I cannot remember the years well. After that I lost my brother. My first brother. No,
in a very short period of time.
Our firstborn brother. He committed suicide. Because of something, sita shida nikisema hapa, because as vitu zingine you don't go kuanika kwa media, but he committed suicide. Why he committed suicide up to now? Najiulizanga kwa nini hakuongea?
He left a letter or you just guess?
We just guessed. But I remember wakati nilienda kuona brother yangu, he was well after 1 week. Unaona yani ame go through your suicide na but how he died again, I don't know. Because alikuwa amekuwa sawa.
He had suicidal thoughts, ama?
I don't know. Sijaiona akiwa na suicidal thought. I think alikasirika tu na akakunywa
go
dawa.
through something.
Yes. Akakunywa dawa. Then from there, he was my first brother. He passed on. Then after 6 months, I lost another sister. My sister, she was my buddy. She was my best friend. When she went, I was like, nitakuwa naongea na nani? And let me tell you something else that broke my heart. Hakuna kitu uma mzazi kama kuona watoto wako wanakufa ukiwa hai. My dad was broken. You see, he lost the first son, another one, and now a daughter.
And the kind of death they are going with, they are not.
Yes. So my sister died after a very short illness. Kifua tu. And she passed on. Na at that time, my dad was so devastated. He was broken. Very broken. I remember ndio alianza, alikuanga mgonjwa lakini si kugonjeka sana. My dad, I remember siku moja tu ndiye nakumbuka nikiwa class 8 alilazwa hospitali ya Aga Khan. Alikuwa anataka kupatwa na stroke lakini haikumgonga. I don't remember another time seeing my dad in the hospital. But after my sister passed on, my dad alianza kulazwa hospitali. And then after,
were they very close?
Yeah, because ni after my mom passed on, my sister, she wasn't married. So ni ali move in kukaa na yeye. So alianza kukonjeka. And after exactly now 6 months, so that is a span of 6, I lost my dad. If I tell you, my heart was broken. And saa zingine huwa siamini ni mimi naongeanga hii maneno, hata silii. Because hapo mbeleni sidhani ningeongea. Tulizika babangu. Then tukakaa after 2 years. I lost a sister. And my sister pia yeye hakuonjeka sana. Aligonjeka tu kidogo, akakufa. And then something else I remember after I lost my sister, you know, people talk. People were talking. I mean, my dad is MURÚNYÚ. Kwa MURÚNYÚ kumefanyika nini? Watu kwani walirogwa? Yes, and nasemanga hakuna mtu anaitishanga kifo. And even the time you are walking, tunatembeanga knowing you are a candidate of death. So there is no way unaweza itisha kifo. There is no way unaweza taka kwenu kukufiwe ama ukue associated na family yenye inakufiwa. So people talk, and I would tell people, watu hata mkiona wakipitia maneno, stand with that family.
So watu walianza kuongea,
Yes.
these families, vifo.
Lazima kuna kitu.
Yeah, death after
baba yao walikuwa wamefanya nini? So lazima kuna kitu ilifanyika. Ndio watu waanze kwani kuna kitu inakujangiwa. Unaona hii? And you know they are talking na tunafikiwa bado na hizo story. So I would wish to tell people, when your friends or your people or your family, your neighbors pass through such things, kindly stand in the gap and pray for them. Wacha kushinda ukiongea, because hiyo kuongea hakuna kitu itasaidia. You just utaenda tu utoanishe vidoda zao tu. But I wish people can go down to their knees and tell God something. Hata kama ni kuomba, kama ni some altars that were raised in that family zitolewe. Or you go talk to them. Uambie, can we kindly play? Unajua vitu zingine, anyway, our hearts were bruised. Watu waliongea sana to a point mimi nilikuwa nimesema nikikufiwa na mtu mwingine hata church mimi sitawaambia. So after hiyo my sister akufe, one of the twin aligonjeka mguu. And she stayed home for about 6 months.
Mguu iligonjeka kufura ama?
She was not able to walk.
And the leg was just normal.
Ilikuwa imefura kwa ni kidogo, but she was not able to walk. She was using crutches. So tukaona tu akae home. Tulimpeleka hospitali, tumelazwa Mata, tumelazwa Aga Khan, tumeenda Gertrudes. We used a lot of, mpaka kadi zikaisha insurance, tukaanza kulipa cash. So that's another time nilikuwa very down. Kugonjekewa na mtoto, na huyo mtoto mnaenda hospitali na hujui amegonjeka wapi. Mnaenda mnapewa kijina ati mtoto amegonjeka Osgood. Sisi unashindwa hii jina inaitishana na Osgood. What is Osgood now? When you Google at it is the muscles grow faster than bones. I cannot remember whether the muscles grow faster or the bones grow faster than muscles. And especially for them that are tall. You know, as we are tall. So I was not in a good position to even mingle with people. That thing ilini put down. And that time, that is when I started even kukaa kama na withdraw kwa watu. But I tell you, who is God? Mtoto alipona. How mtoto alipona, siwezi kuambia alipona aje.
Then she was how old?
She was in class 6. Yeah, she was in class 6. Huyo mwingine alikuwa amezoea atakwenda shule peke yake. Anaacha huyu kwa nyumba. Na mwenye anaachwa kwa nyumba sasa unajua anakaa ako. Yeye anajihurumia. Mimi nilifanya Mungu nini? But we went through that. Mungu akatuelevate na mtoto akapona. From there, I lost my brother. Our second born brother. Our second born brother alikufa kitu up to date. Mimi sijaielewa. Because I was with him the previous week on a Monday. And then the following week on a Tuesday morning, I received a call. No, I received the call at around noon. That your brother is no more. If there is a death that hit me, if ni ya bradhangu, not because hao wengine they don't matter to me, but it's because nilikuwa naona like unaona sasa hao wengine wote wamekufa. My brother nikienda home sinampatanga.
At least yeye amebaki.
Yes, hata kwenye niko as in the family, nikipata shida, I have someone to go na nimwambie 1 2 3 1 2 3. But here my brother, the one who I felt like he's my mom, he's my dad, he's my everything. Ameenda. I think it dawned to me that time. All these people are dead. Familia tu imeisha. Hivyo tu.
Within a very short period of time.
Yes. And familia imeisha tu. And I think I am that kind of a girl. I refused to mourn. Even for the rest of the family, I refused to mourn completely. I would hide that mourning moment under the carpet. Mimi sitaki kufikiria hata watu wamekufa, sitaki. But when my brother died, it dawned to me. And that's what came into me, and I was like, okay, so even me I can die. Who is next? And I tell you, that is the time I almost hit depression. Because I withdrew from people. I used to sleep almost the whole day. I used not to take my bath. I used not to eat. Kwa nyumba unakosana na mzee kila time. Kwa nyumba watoto unakosana nao. Simply because these people are not understanding that you are going through mourning and not for one person. Count 1 2 3 up to 7. And I think at that time my husband could not understand me. Maybe he got it all wrong. I needed time to mourn. I needed a shoulder to lean on. And I also needed someone to talk to me and tell me, Janet, it's going to be well. And at that point, suicidal mind came in me. And I felt like, what if my sister died first? Mimi nitamzika, niachwe peke yangu. No.
Oh, by that time, so ulikuwa umebaki na sister yako sasa moja.
So I felt like, why don't I kill myself? And I started planning how I should kill myself. At some point I felt like, why don't I kill myself with my children? Mimi nitaacha watoto wangu wakiteseka. And I looked at them like this and I'm like, no. Hawa watoto hapana. Wacha nikufe peke yangu. But tena unawaangalia unaona, no, they are the only people that gives you hope. Sikuongea na mtu mambo ya suicide hata mmoja. I remember I shared with one guy. And he took me through that process of removing that thing. Na mpaka alikuwa naogopa, alikuwa naona.
He was a friend or a relative?
Just a friend. Alikuwa naona huyu mwanamke akinitambua kesho amejiua. And I was so broken. I was so broken. Because I remember calling my sister. Nikamuuliza, who is next? Me and you, who is next? We cried. And if there is a time I cried, it is that time I lost my brother. Simply because it dawned completely, now the family is over and there is nothing you can do. And let me tell you, if there is nothing that is permanent like death, there is no reverse. It is so permanent, it is so final. And hawa watu wote wamekufa na sitawahi waona tena. At that point I missed my mom. And I was telling her, Mom, you went too fast. You'd have been going through with me, hii mambo napitia. So, there is one lady, natakanga kurecognize sana, anaitwa Njeri. Elizabeth Njeri, she's from Embu. If there's that lady, she used to call me, console with me, comfort me.
She's a friend?
Yes. And I remember one time she called me. And all what I could afford was just crying. And she told me, just cry, then call me. Aliniuliza to Janet, there's one thing I would want you to ask yourself. Why do you think God has spared you? Do you think it's because you're so good? Do you think because ni vile wewe ni last born ati ni wewe utakufa mwisho? Do you think it's because wewe umekuwa mtiifu sana kwa Mungu? And I would answer silently in my heart, no. But at some point nilikuwa najiuliza, sasa unaniambia nini?
Why are you asking me too many questions?
Do you know what I'm going through? Wewe ushaikufiwa? Sidhani ushaikufiwa. And at that point, I dismissed that statement. But later, nikaanza kujiuliza, why has God spared me? Si kwa kuwa niko mzuri sana. There must be a reason that he has spared me, that I'm not among them that are sleeping permanently, a sleep that will never wake up. So that is when I started, like, I am standing again. And I started asking God, show me why you have spared me, God. Just show me. Kwa nini umenispare? Just show me. And at that point, I started waking up in the morning feeling like, yes, I am ready to face tomorrow. And Eve, let me tell you, I no longer fear death. Even if it comes right now, I don't fear death anymore. I was in that cocoon of, what if I am next to die? Me, I no longer fear death, but what I know is I am going to live such a long life.
Wow.
Psalms 91. Every morning when I wake up, I remind God that you have promised me that long life you will satisfy me with. Na mimi sikufi haraka. I will live to tell a testimony. Na bianga watu, and I usually say it in my language Kikuyu, ate idhue, me and my sister, na idhue matigari ma Murúnyũ. And that generation, yes, that generation haitaishi hapo kwa sababu from the source ati imeisha. Hapana. It will still proceed because God has promised tutaishi. Then from after my brother passed on, tulienda tukahold maombi home na tukaomba, and we cancelled and tulikatakata all those altars za death and whatever. And from that time, I felt peace. And that's why I tell you, I no longer fear death. I no longer fear death. What I know is I am going to live long. And even that time when death comes, I will not fear death. Because those children, you know, they inspire me so much. They are the reason that I wake up every morning. Actually, let me tell you, to the last drop of my blood, to the last drop of my breath, those children, I'll fight for them. I can do anything as long as it is decent to make sure I give them whatever they require. Unajua, Mungu anatuambianga, when you go to him, you ask whatever you want. So there is no way they can come to beg me to give them whatever they need. Okay, I am not the father, but I am the mother. But I told God, in whatever you give me, I will work hard for them. Never to lack anything. Sahi huwa nakaa nao peke yao. Hii ni kitu sijaiongea. We broke up with the father, and I've been staying with him. But he takes care of them. But hiyo story siwezi taka kuiongelea sana, but we broke up, so I've been staying with that. That's why I'm telling you, I'll fight for them. I will do anything for them as long as it is decent for me to see them. They get what they get, a decent meal, they get a decent clothing, they get whatever they require.
Okay, it happened after you had healed about the...
No, I was still going through. And that's why I tell you, maybe people, there was some misunderstanding because I think kama mtu hakuelewi unamon.
That's why you felt like he never understood what you were going through.
Yes. I would not want to talk so much about him, but I feel that he did not understand. And I needed someone. I needed a shoulder. I needed someone to really understand and to give me time. Not just 1 day or 2 days. I needed time to heal. I needed time to mourn. Not for one person, but for 7 souls. people who were so close to me, not just a friend, not even an auntie, not a shosho, but people who were my family. And I wish people can know what is entailed in a family. That bond. Don't break it. Watu wenye wako na wazazi, tafadhali tembeleeni wazazi. Give them whatever you want to give them when they are alive. Yeah. Because you may not tomorrow, you never know about tomorrow.
Yeah. Lynn usually say that give people their flowers when they are still alive.
Yes. So value that family. If mkiwa mmezaliwa mkiwa kadhaa, si tulikuwa wengi sana. Sometimes I ask God, tungekuwa wawili ningekuwa nimeachwa peke yangu. So that value of a family, that's why I value those kids of mine. That's the only family I have now. They've been behind me. They keep me going. They encourage me. Hata kwa hii interview, ni wao wametuma nifike.
Actually, they have been pushing it for quite a long time.
And even the time they told you they wanted you to do me interview, I didn't know. Mpaka niliwauliza, anafanyanga hizo? And they told me, yes, anafanyanga. So even when I am here giving out that, because I say it's a testimony, I've gone through a lot of pain. Sipeani ati juu nionyesha watu nimekufiwa ama nini, because huwezi jisifu na kukufiwa.
Yeah, I've gone through pain and rejection, and so many people are going through it.
Yes. Huwezi jionyeshana ati umekufiwa. I just want to tell that person who is going through so much, ajue kuna Mungu anainuana. And before I finish, I would also say that I did not just lose my people. I also lost my home, where I grew up, knowing this is where I come from.
Like I lost, home nyumbani.
Yes, kwenye nililelewa. I lost my home.
Wow. Your home.
Yes, because it was taken by my brother. Not that alichukua cha nguvu, but that is what the will said. Wasichana hakuna kitu aliachiwa. So and aliingia mpaka nyumba ya mamangu. Na saa hii ni bibi yake anaishi huko na watoto. So even when you go to visit, it is where you grew up. But you are a visitor there.
You never feel that you are at home. There is not that feeling.
Yes, because it's no longer your place. So mimi sahi. If I die, but I'm not dying. Hata mimi hapo kuzikwa sina. I don't have. Labda mwende munipeleke Rangata or somewhere else. Because you see like now hatuko na mzee. I don't have a place I can call home. And I'm not saying this ati nikisik pite or sympathy. I don't need sympathy, by the way. I believe in working hard. I have worked hard all along. I don't need sympathy from anyone. Unajua watu wanaweza ona kama anataka afanyiwe. I am just talking. But I am talking is to say that I almost lost everything. So when you've lost your family, you've lost your marriage, you've lost your home, what do you have? I have those children. They make me happy. Kama kuna mtu anaweza taka tukosane, guza hawa watoto. Yes. Hao ukiguza, tutaperekana. They are my everything. They are my world, my number one fan. So if I've gone, I thank God I've been able to give this interview today without crying. Even if sometimes I'm feeling emotional, but
it was so strong.
I am so happy. I think I'm healing. I'm healed. I would say I'm healed. And after that painful journey, a song was born. Na nikitoa hiyo song, that song came in April last year, 2020. And nilikuwa naambia wasichana wangu, kai mnajua mimi Mungu amenipea wimbo, wanacheka. Ati mom, wacha. But God gave me a song. To me, it's a conversation between me and God. And I am telling God, vile amenifanyia, vile nataka anifanyie, mimi Mungu niko peke yangu. Sina hata wa kunishughulikia. So if you leave me, nani atanishughulikia? So what I would say is, if you let God, He takes over. Kuna hii wimbo ya Sarah Kiarie aliimba ya how I managed, actually I would say how I managed to grieve, to mourn, come out strong, stand again. Mimi hata nikitembea kwa barabara huwezi sema nimepitia pain. I cannot tell.
Yeah, even you look so young.
Na niko natumia ka. God took it over. He took it over in a way, wacha nikuambie hivi. Zile mambo Mungu amenifanyia, hakuna mwanadamu anaweza kunifanyia. The peace that God has given me, no man ameweza kunipea. You know, sasa nitasema, I don't know which word I should use, because mpaka zile bridges Mungu amenipitisha. Zile forest Mungu amenipitisha. Sidhani kuna mwanadamu yeyote angeweza nipitishia. Even healing my wound. Hakuna daktari yeyote wa huku duniani angeweza kuheal whatever I was going through in my heart. Only Jesus Christ. So if you focus on Jesus Christ alone. There's a song, I don't know whether I make a verse. Ya hiyo wimbo. Ilikuanga inanipea nguvu sana. When I feel like I feel like I'm crushed. And I will sing it in Kikuyu na imeimbwa na Kizungu. You raised me up. Leo joyaga ukahaisha iremaine Leo deithagia iuo kandeine Ndena hinya ndeshandeine shaku Leo deithagia kuria itagehota. You know, he's that person. He raised me up beyond the storms. There are some six characters, good characters of an ego. That has been my life. If you go and Google 6 good characters of the ego, going beyond the storms, usikubali kukula vitu zenye zimekufa, you know, studying tall again. And that time you feel like you don't want to talk to people, you feel like you want to rejuvenate yourself again, go hide. It's okay. Come out when you feel like you want to face people. And that is what an ego does. Sa zenye amesikia amezeeka anaenda na pluck all the feathers, anagongesha mpaka the beak, anagojea grow again. And he comes out with a lot of strength. And I think that's what God has done in my life. That amenipelekea hiyo journey sana. And he has crushed me. He has molded me again. And he has made me to be a very strong woman. And I never knew I was such strong until being strong was the only choice I had.
Yeah.
And I know I am strong. That one, I don't need even anyone to tell me. I am a very strong woman. And I always tell my girls and my boy, maybe I would not want them to follow so much the footsteps the mother has followed. But can you be strong like your mother? Overcoming. Wacha kusikiza watu vile wanasema, because people will talk. If I listened to those people, I would have committed suicide. Because I felt, at some point, I felt rejection. I felt I am left alone. I felt there's no one. And you know, when you lose so much, Eve, you even lose friends. Watu wataki kukua associated na wewe. Hata watu wa familia. Yes. Like that time my child was sick. Nilisikia kuna watu na sitataja hapa. Very close people to me. Walikuwa nasema labda hiyo ugonjwa imetoka kwa kina Janet. Yes. And how would you cause your own child to get sick? It's very impossible. Kila mzazi, and especially as women, tunaombea watoto wetu wakuwe na life mzuri sana. So that song was born out of that painful story. Na ndio maana nimekuambia kila kitu yenye umepitia, na ni unaonanga mwanamke akienda labor ward. She goes there with a lot of pain, but she comes there laughing, because there is no pain utapitia ikose kukupea kitu, ukose kugive birth something good. Not unlike haiko godly. So just accept God to take you through na utamanuva.
That's so amazing. It was a very nice story. I'm sure somebody who is watching this, he or she has been inspired, because I'm sure it's something that maybe someone is going through right now. Tukimalizia Mama Twins, nini nyingine ungependa kuambia watu wangu?
What I would want to say is, I would want to tell that person who is going through tough times, who has lost not only a loved one, you know, you can lose even a job, we lost in so many ways. That loss isitume ukae mwisho. Go beyond it. I will always tell people, sometimes I talk with those people who have lost their people or their loved one. Naambianga usikae sana kwa grave. Because ukikaa sana kwa grave, itakuumiza zaidi. Move on. Because hao watu wamekufa na hatutawahi waona tena. Life must go on. Wewe uko hai. Live your life. You don't know about tomorrow, hata kama wewe kesho ndio unaenda. And that's why nimekwambia I no longer fear death. But I would want to tell that person, focus on God. He is the one who can only uplift you. Na ndio nimekwambia, whatever God has given me, nobody wa huku duniani angeweza kunipea. Hata hiyo wimbo, hakuna mwanadamu angeweka hiyo wimbo kwangu, kwa roho yangu. Yes. So I would tell people, focus on God. Keep growing, like my girls wanasemanga, keep growing, keep going. Sijui kama ni going na azaga ama ni growing, whatever. But I would want to tell them, focus on God. Yes.
Wow.
And when you mourn, mourn in the Lord. Usimon na usisikize watu vile wanasema. Watu watakuua. Yes.
Wow. It has been a nice one. Of course, we had our emotional time, but we thank God we have come to the end of all this story. But ningependa uambie your channel where they can get your song na pia ya Gadesha Twins, you know.
Yeah, you go to YouTube, kimbia huko, Janet Muronyo, hivyo ndivyo najiita. Nimetoa, mimi ni mwimbaji, a very new artist. Nimeimba wimbo moja iko na 4 months. Kindly subscribe, watch, share, give a comment. Gadesha Twin Empire, watoto wangu, tafadhali subscribe, share and like.
Wow.
Tutafurahia.
Wow. Thank you so much, guys. If you subscribe to their channel, also remember to subscribe to my channel. We meet in the next video.